Hey there guys, welcome to my first video. I'm the Fantastic Cubix. I make videos about Rubik's Cube and sometime in the future I'll start making videos about video games like Fortnite and Roblox. So before I have uploaded my first video, one person has even subscribed my channel. I don't even know who the person is. So if the person who has subscribed my channel is watching this video, he gets a thanks from me and a round of applause in the comment section. So in my first video I'm gonna make a tutorial on the 3x3 cube. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna start the 3x3 tutorial. So here's the 3x3 cube. So before solving the 3x3, you have to learn a specific notations that help you with doing the algorithms. So the first notations begin with an R. So R is the right layer up. So this is R, and the opposite or the right layer down is R prime. So R and R prime. So the opposite is with the left layer. So that is the L. So this is L, left layer down, and L prime, left layer up. Then next comes the U. So U, upper layer to the left, and U prime, upper layer to the right. And there's D, bottom layer to the right, and D prime, bottom layer to the left. After that there's F, which is front layer clockwise, and F prime, which is the front layer anti-clockwise. Then there's B, which is the back layer anti-clockwise, and B prime, which is the back layer clockwise. And the final notation is the M. So M is the middle layer downwards, and M prime is the middle layer upwards. So those are the notations. Now let's continue with the first step. I'll scramble the cube. So the first step is to make a cross. So for making a cross, you need to make a daisy on the top layer. So a daisy should be made so that the yellow is in the center, and four white edge pieces like these two, surround them on four sides like 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are two over here. Now let's bring the other two in. So I find one over here. I can then move it into this layer and move it up with an F2. And the last one, it's like this. So I cannot move it like this. So instead I'll do an F prime and then R, U, 2, 3 and R prime, so that this goes over here. So we have made the daisy. Next step is to complete the cross. So for completing the cross, start with one color. I'll start with orange. So we have to find the orange and the white edge piece in the top layer. So it is somewhere over here, and it is here. So have to bring it over here on this piece, and then use the algorithm F2 to bring it over here. So that completes one arm of the cross. So for blue, it's on the right place. Then red should come over here. So here's the red and the white piece. Bring it over here, and then the rest of it is pretty easy. Let's proceed towards our next step. So the next step in solving the 3x3 cube is to complete the bottom layer. So for completing the bottom layer, we need to find a corner piece in the top layer. So I have with white, if you are taking white as the bottom layer. So I have 1, 2 and 3 pieces with white. Oh yeah, 3 pieces with white in the bottom layer, top layer. And now I've choose one of these pieces. I choose this one. I'll choose this one, and then bring it on the right spot. So its right spot is between the green and the orange centers. So that the place is over here, green and the orange. So I have to bring this piece over here, and after it is in the right place, then you use the algorithm R, U, R prime, U prime. Keep using it until this thing is flipped. Sorry, this thing is in the right place, like this. So after that we'll find another corner. So this is the red, blue and white corner. It will go over here. So let's bring it and use the algorithm, and there it is. So in a similar way you can complete the other two corners as well. So we have completed a cross and the bottom layer. The third step in solving the 3x3 is to complete the middle layer. So for completing the middle layer, if you have taken white as the bottom layer, search the top layer for an edge piece which isn't having any yellow color. So I have found two over here, so I'll go with the first one, this one. So this is the blue and the orange, so it should go over here in between these two pieces. And this thing has blue facing me, so I'll bring it on the blue center like this, and it needs to go to the left. So the algorithm for this would be u prime l prime u prime l u, then f u f prime, so the cube, so that this edge piece would be solved. So let's find the next edge piece. It's over here. So it has green facing towards me and orange on the top, so it should go between the green and the orange center. So let's take it over there. So I have taken it over here, and this time it should go to the right. So use the algorithm u r prime u prime, then f prime u f, so that the edge piece will be in its correct place. Similarly, you can solve the other two edge pieces, and if this edge piece was over here, but it was like flipped oppositely, so red would be here and the green would be here. I'm talking about this edge piece. Then you would have to like take another edge piece, take any other edge piece from the top layer and bring it over here, and then switch that edge piece with this edge piece, and then put this edge piece, which is now in the top layer, over here. So the next step in solving the 3x3 cube is to make the cross. So for making the cross, there are 3 steps. So I'll show them one by one. So the first step is when there is a dot over here. So for dot, hold the cube so the top layer is, so that the top layer is on the top, and then use the algorithm f r u r prime u prime f prime, so that you get the angle. So for solving the angle, hold the angle such that one of its arm is facing you and one of its arm is facing right, and then use the algorithm f r u r prime u prime f prime. The angle would be solved and you would get a line. Solving the line, you have to bring the line so that position the line so that one piece is facing left and one right, and then use the algorithm f r u r prime u prime f prime, the same algorithm, and this would be solved. So the next step is to swap the corners. So for swapping the corners, sorry, not swapping, for flipping the corners. So for flipping the corners, hold the cube upside down so that now your bottom layer is the top layer, and then put any unflipped corner on the bottom right place, like this thing over here, and use the algorithm r u r prime u prime till this corner gets flipped. But this thing over here in the top gets damaged, but don't worry, we'll bring another corner piece which is unflipped in this place like this, and use the same algorithm r u r prime u prime, and this one's flipped and this one's back to normal. So then we can like flip the cube again and proceed towards our next step. So in our next step, the algorithms are quite big, so I recommend you to learn these algorithms in parts. So our next step is to pair the corners. two corners should be paired. In this case, none of the corners are paired, so I can hold the cube any way I like, but top yellow should be at the top, and use the algorithm over here. R2 U prime, R prime U prime, R U R prime F prime. So after using the algorithm over here, I get one pair of corners like green. These both green corners are in one line, and never mind this edge piece over here. So when you get one pair, keep it on the left side and then use the same algorithm, so that you would get all the corners would be paired. So our next and the last step in solving the 3x3 is to permute the edges. Okay guys, so let's proceed with our last step. So the last step has 4 cases. I'm gonna depict them one by one. So the first case is in which this piece has to go towards the left and one face is solved. So we are gonna keep the solved face at the back and then use the algorithm R U prime R U R U R U prime R prime U prime R2, so that the cube would be solved. Let's go to our next case. So our next case is in which this piece has to go to the right and one face is solved. So we'll, as the previous case, we'll put the solved face in the back and then use the algorithm R2U R U R prime U prime R prime U prime R U R prime. The cube would be solved. So our third case is in which this piece has to go over here and this piece has to come here, and the same is with the other pieces. So the holding position is for this case is, so we have to keep one piece that has to go over here on the left and one piece facing us, and then use the algorithm M prime U M2 U M2 U M prime U2 M2 U prime, so that the cube would be solved. Now let's go towards our next step. So this is our next step, in which both the edges have to be swapped diagonally. So this has to come over here and this has to go over here, and the same as with the other pair. So for this you have to use the algorithm M2U M2 U2 M2 U M2, so the cube would be solved. I have shown all the cases that can occur in the 3x3 cube in my tutorial. If you like this video, smash the like button and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon as well. If you press it, you will be the first one to get notification about my new video.